Hey guys, it's Kat, and before I get into this video, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my Patreon. Patreon is the platform that essentially enables me to do this full time, and Patreon is where I also feel like I can have my most direct interaction with my audience. On Patreon, I upload these vlogs about my life and also about my work, all the shit that I'm bubbling up over here on my end, and I really have appreciated the space for allowing me to vent and get it out there. And also, I post a lot of my content early there. I do the same over on YouTube members, where really the only difference between my YouTube members and my Patreon is on my Patreon, I post more personal vlogs and such, but on my YouTube members, I do members only live streams just like this one. I record a live stream before I go live, which is kind of a public one for everyone. And then when I do my more involved topics, I do another live stream that is going to be for members only. I just created the new tier for that. It's the Spark tier. So if that's something you guys are interested in, please feel free to join me over there. Additionally, YouTube is where I do end up backlogging my live streams after they've gone live. So if you're ever wondering what this video you see later was like when it was filmed live, you can go and check those out as well. Anyway, on that note, we're going to get into this video, and we've got a lot to talk about. And we are here to talk about a subject that is really uncomfortable. So I will say that if you are not responding well to the news as of late, maybe skip this one. This one's pretty upsetting. But I wanted to talk about this because I had a read on it and I really wanted to make a point of sharing some of these thoughts. So we're here to talk about a manipulated image of an activist that's been going around lately. So this is the post that drew this to my attention. It says, on January 22nd, the White House posted a photo on social media that they claimed to show a woman who had been arrested for protesting ICE in Minneapolis, crying in handcuffs, when in reality, it had been digitally altered to make her appear as much. So let's talk about this particular woman and her case, because that is not really talked about in this post, and I had to go look it up. A Minnesota activist who was charged for her role in an anti-immigration enforcement protest at a church released her own video of her arrest Friday after the White House posted a manipulated image online. The White House on Thursday posted a picture on its X page of civil rights attorney Nekima Levy Armstrong, crying with her hands behind her back as she was escorted by a blurred person wearing a badge. The photo was captioned in all caps, "Arrested far-left agitator Nekima Levy Armstrong for orchestrating church riots in Minnesota." A photo by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's account showed the same image with Armstrong wearing a neutral expression. Levy Armstrong, who was arrested with at least two others on Thursday for an anti-immigration and customs enforcement protest that disrupted a service at a church where an ICE official also serves as a pastor, released her own video. Levy Armstrong and Chantel Allen, a St. Paul school board member who was also arrested in connection to the protest, were both released Friday, according to a post by Levy Armstrong's organization, the Racial Justice Network. Their attorneys declined to comment. So, let's see. So, oh my God, go away. So that is this is the original image, right? And then this is what the White House posted. So, okay. So there's a lot of things I have to say about this. And I think that the obvious reason why they did this is to, of course, undermine her, right? They wanted to undermine her. They wanted to make her appear as if she was pathetic. And they wanted to, of course, placate to the audience that wants to see this. They want to see images of Black women crying. They want to see images of marginalized minorities in distress. But there's also another thing I want to talk about when it comes to this that a lot of people have not been discussing. And I think it's relevant because this is something that was very obviously done in AI. And AI is used for a lot of things. Mainly, one of the prominent uses, of course, is adult content. And the thing I wanted to draw to people's attention is the fact that there are a lot of people who get off to stuff like this. So something that I actually didn't understand for a really long time is that sometimes when people would have like confrontations with me, there's a way that they were sexualizing it, right? And what they want more than anything is to get me into a situation where I'm emotional, where I'm crying. And there are a lot of people who sexualize this. It is a fetish, dacrophilia. Dacrophilia is when people get a sexual pleasure from the image of someone crying, from tears, right? The reason I bring this up is because that is a filter that oftentimes people will put on adult content to make the people who are in the adult content, who are not crying, appear as though they are. And part of why I wanted to draw this to people's attention, I don't want to traumatize you or, upset you for no reason, but I want to point out that there are people who are explicitly looking for images like this so that they could get off to them, right? That's also part of why I don't do stuff like that anymore on social media, cry and stuff like that on social media, because I know that there are people that do. They get off to it, right? And it sounds like a conspiracy, but I don't know if you guys have heard, but you really should hear the testimony of Sasha Riley. I won't get into it too much in this video. But if you listen to the testimony of Sasha Riley, there is a very blunt conversation about the production of certain types of videos that are depicting, let's say, abuse of vulnerable people, right? A lot of people seem to be putting the pieces together that a lot of the ICE agents are producing some of the stuff, right? And I don't want to act like I don't know that or that's not a thing, especially within the context that we're talking about, right? There are a lot of people who they want this content. They're interested in getting this content. They're interested in producing it. They're not interested in the people who are in it having any rights at all. And they explicitly get off on seeing these people in tears, right? I wish that it was a weird conspiracy thing that I was making up, but it's a thing. And I want for people to be aware of it, if only so that they think a bit more about what they're posting and sharing, right? Obviously, with AI stuff like this, you can't control it. There's no possible way for you to control it. But I think that it's something to be aware of, that for a lot of these people, they are sexualizing their oppression of marginalized folks. And really, at the end of the day, I just wanted to point that out to people because that's what they're doing. They're putting the same filter that they would put on those images on this woman. And it should say something that the White House is reposting that. What's really funny about that is, remember when fake news was like the number one thing that they talked about, and now they're just creating this shit, And just even think about the context, right? Kristi Noem posted the original photo, right? But when the White House went to repost it, they only did it after they put her through a filter, which should tell you that the White House right now is trying to placate to a certain audience. They're trying to get a certain degree of engagement, and they're trying to present images of people in terror, being terrorized, as entertainment for them. That's the state of this country. That is the state of this country. And I partially wanted to make this video to say, don't feed into it. Don't feed into it. When I see stuff like this, I have to be frank, it doesn't make me feel weaker. It makes me feel stronger, actually. It tells me that they have to do this. They have to fabricate. They have to create. They have to make it up, which tells me that they're very weak, which is, of course, the thing revealed through most of this for me, but this is a good example of it. Nekima was protesting a pastor who was also in ICE. That should tell you, again, where our country is. Not just where our country is, but the state of white evangelicalism. The white evangelical church is being heralded by men who would violate what's in the Bible about welcoming people from other countries, other lands, right? It's crazy to me. And it's sad because, you know, I was raised very religious. I was raised very Christian. I went to Christian private school. It's part of how I turned out the way I did. And frankly, one of the big things that has made me really sad is to sort of see the way that it feels like evangelicalism has shifted. I don't think it ever really has. Maybe my relationship with it has, but it's clear to me that the use of the church in this country is mostly to export white supremacy. That's mostly what they're doing. A pastor shouldn't feel comfortable doing that. A pastor shouldn't feel comfortable being involved with ICE at all. A pastor shouldn't feel comfortable welcoming them into church. But here they are. Here we are, right? And it's just very, very sad that this is the point we're at. Anyway, I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to bring it up. I just wanted to point it out. I know that some people are probably going to dismiss it, but you know, for me, it's something to not be dismissed. It's something to not be downplayed. There are an incredible amount of people who are getting a sexual gratification on top of everything else when it comes to this. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys later. I'll see you guys in the next video. As per usual, I want you to stay hot and introspective, and to always remember and to never forget that you are beautiful and you are loved. Bye.